Hi everyone, I am Teriso. I'm a former professional Magic player and I've been playing this game for the past 25 years. Today, I'm going to share my MTG journey with you. I'm teaming up with Collektr, platform for collectibles, to bring you something truly unique for the MTG community. I was introduced to Magic by my younger brother, Joe. My cousin taught him Magic and Joe taught me Magic when I was 12. So I started in Uzu Sagas when I was 12 and I was horrible at the game. I did every mistakes you can possibly imagine. I'm just throwing away games all the time. So I was really bad. But I truly love the game and I have lots of passions for it. So I was curious, I wanted to improve myself, I wanted to get better. And besides going to school, I basically just live and breathe Magic. And naturally, I got better over time. My first mark in the competitive scene is in GP Singapore 2003, where I finished second place. Back then, you have two prizes. You have the prizes for amateur, as well as the main event prize. You are considered an amateur if you have 0 pro points coming into the event, and at that time, I have 0 pro points. So what happens is, I won the first prize in amateur, as well as the second prize in the main event, and it was a combined total of 3,000 or 4,000 US dollars. It was a lot of money back then for a 16-year-old kid, and I'm thinking, maybe this could work. My real breakthrough, in my personal opinion, the gold standard for Magic achievement is the Pro Tour. When you have discussion among the pros, who's the best of all time, or when you're talking about Hall of Fame candidate, the one thing that everyone always talks about is the number of Pro Tour Top 8 that you have. As for myself, I got my first Pro Top 8 in World Championship 2004 at the age of 17. By making top 8 at the World Championship, it earns me an invitation to play at the next Pro Tour, which is Pro Tour Nagoya. Pro Tour Nagoya was Rochester Draft, and I practiced a lot for Rochester Draft in Magic Online. And once again, my hard work was paid off. I made my back-to-back second Pro Tour top 8 in Pro Tour Nagoya, where I finished third place. Fast forward several years later, and after a few more attempts, I got my third Pro Tour Top 8 in World Championship 2009, where I finished third place. So, fun fact, I almost skipped the tournament due to the fact that I have a very tight schedule as I was pursuing my master's degrees at the time. It was a tough balance, between getting your master's and practicing for Worlds, as Worlds is a multi-format. There's 3 different formats that you have to practice. But in the end, I decided to go for it, take my shot, and it turned out to be fantastic. During my peak, when I practice, I spend roughly 8 or 9 hours per day practicing Magic. So, basically, I live and breathe Magic. That is, I guess, what it takes to be among the top players in the country. First of all, I'm very thankful for my team. My team was called Jin Team back then. Jin Team, well, basically, it's most of the heavyweight players at that time. Jin Team consists of myself, Joe, my younger brother, Aoyong Waikin, and Michael Tan, and a few more. So basically, I was once the national champion. Joe was twice the national champion. Aoyong Waikin, twice the national champion, and Michael Tan, once national champion. These are all heavyweight, and I'm very grateful and thankful to them. Like, without them, there would be no Teriso. So thank you, Jin Team. My proudest moment in Magic, it has to be the invitationals, because you are competing against the best players of that era. Almost every round, you are either competing against someone with multiple Pro Tour Top 8 or just straight up Pro Tour champion. I remember during the event, I won against multiple Pro Tour champions such as Carlos Romao, Antoine Rouault, Bob Maher, which is Star Confidant, and even Kai Buddha. It's crazy. It's the toughest field I had ever played in my entire Magic career. Ragdos Orgrimage is something that I'm really proud of. It reminds me of how far I've come as a player, as well as the toughest tournament that I had to win in order to create it. Originally, my card was this. It's called Jin, Master of Disruption. The original card was really powerful. I wanted a card that is skill intensive, that you can both beat down as well as control the card quality flow of both players. But the original card proved to be too powerful, because on the play, you can cast it, activate its ability, and you can simply take away their land, which can be game at times. So what happens is they have to fine-tune the card, and there you are, you've got Ragdos Orgrimage. Beyond tournaments, Magic has always been about the community to me. I had made many friends from all over the world. I had hosted Dutch and Japanese friends such as Shuhei Nakamura and Frank Carsten to stay over at my place when they came here for tournaments in Kuala Lumpur. I had stayed at a friend's place in Amsterdam when I went to Proto Amsterdam. It's a really unique and great experience. And I also think that Magic is getting to a point where it's becoming a multi-generational game. I mean, when I started the game, I was 12 years old, and right now my son is 8 years old, and I've been teaching him some basics about Magic. I'm certainly looking forward to the day where I get to pass along my Magic wisdom as well as cards to my son. There are two phases of my Magic life. The first half is all about competition. The second half, which is now, is more about collecting cards. As I got more commitments in life and I have less time to play MTG, I started transitioning into collecting cards. There is something about duels that is just very fascinating to me. I remember seeing duels at a very young age and I couldn't afford to collect them. It's a real honor now that I'm able to collect a bunch of them right now. Duels are the real estate of Magic. You know, decks come and go, but the foundation of legacy is always about the duels. I have about 200 duels, and now that with Collektr, it's easier for collectors like you and me to buy and sell authenticated duels on the platform securely and easily. So guys, if you have a similar collection, you have a reserve collection like mine, feel free to put it up on Collektr. You know, it's easier and it's secure for us to buy and sell authenticated cards on Collektr. The process that kickstarted my reserve list collection was when I purchased my foil grass cradle. At the time, when I started playing Magic, I was playing Stompy Green, and Stompy Green needs to play with Grass Cradle. So years later, as I had more capital, I saw this bunch of Grass Cradles for sale. There's a playset for $1,000 and I picked them up. So I actually purchased my Grass Cradle from a reputable seller in eBay. Yes, it is extremely important to know the source that you're buying from, you know, to know that if the seller is reputable, if it's authenticated. Throughout my MTG journey, there are a lot of great memories and a lot of fun. And one of the great things that they've done for me is they have created a card for this for me. You know, it's not every day you get to see your face on a card like this. It reminds me of how far I've come as a Magic player. I still remember it was in Proto Nagoya when they wanted to take some pictures. They just said it was for promotional purpose. I did not know it was such a great price. And to my delight, I discovered myself on a booster shortly after. Something special that Wizards has done for me is they had voted me into the invitationals as the R&D pick. There are a lot of better players out there better than me that they could have picked, but they picked me instead, which I'm extremely grateful for. Thank you, Wizards. I guess at the time, I was up and rising, and I was also known for practicing a lot on Magic Online, which I guess caught their attention. But fortunately, I did win the entire thing, so it's a pick not wasted. These are some of the boosters that Collektr has provided for me to crack open. I haven't been cracking packs for some time, so let's have some fun. We are going to start with the classics, which is Chronicle, and we'll move on to the latest sets.